Hey you guys, so the dream challenge, right? So we're gonna do this one for YouTube. This one's gonna be for YouTube since I can go over a little bit and I can kind of go in more so in depth. Okay, I did Cards and Coffee May 27. I want to say that was on a Tuesday before the protests and things had just started. This is before, definitely way before the rioting and everything, right? So I had this vision, this dream. I could have been in another dimension, but I just know this was like a regular dream. And then I got pulled into some I don't know whether, like I said, another dimension or another foresight. I don't know. I got pulled. And this has been happening for a long time without me doing it. Like I said, I astral project without knowing, if that makes sense. It's not like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go astral travel. No, it's not like that. That's not how God needs me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try not to overuse my gifts. After being punished a little while back for overusing my gifts and stuff like that. Yeah. So when I astral travel, normally, like I said, divine and the guardians and the gods and ancestors, ascending master, they take me to where I need to go and what I need to see, who I need to see, scenarios I need to see, anything like that. Versus, of course, people, of course, I'm dealing with black magic and people on the darkness, trying to pull me into something. I'm not going to the dark. I need people to understand that I can't. It's hard to explain. I will not by choice or force. Divine will not allow me to go. The ancestors will not allow me to go into the dark. I do not want to go to the dark. I do not give no one consent to pull me into the dark. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing. Like I literally will serve divine to the day I die, and then when I die, I'm still gonna serve divine. I'm still gonna serve it. You know what I'm saying? So, just to get back on track. So I have that part also, dream manipulation and all this stuff happening to me at the same time. So I have to be careful. Unfortunately, I believe somebody has a freaking voodoo doll of me now as well. Again, it's a paper doll or some type of voodoo doll. So, but that's another story. I think I've explained that before. I may do Cards and Coffee again this week, which I know I will. I got a little bit more time this week. So definitely Cards and Coffee, and I can talk more about that type of stuff. But anywho, back to this dream, right? I'm in a college setting. I want to say this is more so an auditorium. This is an auditorium setting with the podium and stuff at the bottom. Similar to how like those college classrooms are. They look like auditoriums. They're huge. Especially at like Harvard and different places like that. NYU and all that kind of stuff. I remember we were packing up. I want to say this was like more so an auditorium because I couldn't really focus on. I don't think they had the desktops on all the chairs, so I think this was just an auditorium. But it could have been a classroom as well for a college. So, but I'm going to say auditorium like situation. So we're packing up stuff. There's these little kids, teenagers, whoever these little young. They were younger than me. They could have been young adults. They're like, trying to look through my notepad. I know this one guy, it was a black guy, tried to look through my notepad to see what I was writing and what it was and stuff like that, right? So I just told him, oh, these are just manifestations, whatever, whatever. I'm quite smart. So he was trying to see what was in the box. He's trying to steal information. Probably tried to steal something out of that box or whatever like that, right? All right. But anywho. Fast forward, I put the rest of the stuff in the box. I'm talking to my coworker, or whoever. I want to say these. I keep saying coworker, so maybe this is somebody I'm working with. Because there were other people down at the bottom where the actual podium and stuff was as well, and I kept getting coworker or work collaborators and stuff like that, right? So we're talking or whatever, and I think we were just wrapping up for the day or for the year or something like that, right? And I just remember taking this box. Mind you, this is a peaceful dream. Even though these people try to steal some information from my notepads and different stuff like that, right? When I tell you, and I'm trying to remember, it more will come to me as I remember. But when I tell you, I picked up this box, right? And mind you, my coworkers, they're at the door. I'm seeing people walk past the doorway on the outside of the door. That's why I said I think this was more so a college or some type of school or university or something like that. It was something because that's what outside this hallway, that's what it looks like. So, there's people standing at the door. One of them is the coworker I was talking to, and like I said, everybody's getting ready to leave because there was only like maybe literally a handful of people left in this big, huge auditorium, classroom, whatever you want to call it, right? So I'm picking up the box, right, and I'm leaving, and all of a sudden, because I was getting ready to speak to my coworkers, because they were just standing right there, because everybody was getting ready to leave, because most people leave in packs and groups and stuff like that, especially a big room like that, yeah. And because they even offered to help. The coworker even offered, help with the boxes and stuff like that. But it was like a little small, little, little like box that you can, normally when people pack up their offices and stuff like that, they, pick it up and go, right? That kind of little small box or crate or whatever you want to call it. And when I tell you, right before I could walk out this door, there was like this hole in my arm. Even though in the dream it was my left arm, but I felt it in my actual real body in my right arm. Like I said, it could have been somebody doing something with a voodoo doll or something like that, right? Could have been anything at this point. But, because, honey, it's happened before. But this right here, it ties into the next dream. It wasn't until I woke up that I realized what this piercing hole, I mean, I tell you, it hurt like fire. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, I just remember. But my coworkers felt it too. That's the crazy part about it. Once it got really intense in my arm, I can feel like this hole in my arm. I can feel it. Like I can feel it. And it felt like I said, like a freaking gunshot. And then I started hearing these people scream. Like I told you, there was these like little young adults. I don't know whether these were teenagers or young adults. I remember hearing voices like, help us, screaming like for help. Screaming for help. Mind you, this was like, if you ever watched the show, I think it's Medium, when she has the visions and stuff like that, it's similar to that almost. And when I tell you, the whole felt like a freaking gun wound. I've had family members who's been shot, and they've always described it as this just like a bullet, like especially those hollow tip bullets will eat you, like eat your flesh up, especially once it pierces your skin. It goes straight through you, and then it shoots, they shoot out and separate, right? The hollow tip bullets. Like when I tell you, I was screaming, but my coworkers could feel it too. So I'm just like, what in the world's going on? Like, what is this? But I remember screaming, but I remember other people screaming before I could scream anything. I remember I was even saying, help us, help us, help us, and looking at these administrative people. And like I said, there was people at the bottom just walking around talking, just scattered like a handful of people, and they couldn't hear us scream or anything. I'm just like, nobody's going to help? Like what's going on? Like, and I remember waking up from that dream and for a couple minutes and going right back to sleep. And in this particular part of the dream, I saw some very apocalyptic stuff right here, American soil. A big ass war. Mind you, I had this dream before the ride started. I wasn't going to share this vision because I don't want to scare people. I see stuff that other people don't. Like literally this big ass, it's good versus evil, basically. It was good versus evil. It's a big ass, just massive crowd of people. But these people were programmed. Because they were everybody on the right side was more so under programming. Everybody on the left side, they weren't on under programming. They were more free, right? They were more free range. But everybody was a big ass, massive group of people, and they all had this look in their eye. They were under some type of hypnosis or programming. I saw it. I'm just like, look. I said, damn, something's wrong with them. Like there's something's wrong. They all looked alike. They all kind of dressed almost alike. They all had the same body expression, demeanor. They were all under this programming. Of course, I remember them saying, look at us, look at us. I'm a gang-stalked individual, so they just wanted my energy, my attention, basically. I did see some familiar faces, like certain friends, family, and just people that I've seen before. That's how I know a lot of these people are probably under programming or some type of control or hypnosis or something. It's something. It's something. And I just remember, like, literally being on this big-ass battleground, like we're on, what was the name of that, what was the name of that movie? Braveheart or 300. like that big ass, like they have this big ass war scene. You know, the bad ones who are on the programming were on the right side of, like, well, yeah, they were on the right side. We were on the left side. And I just remember, but we weren't directly fighting each other. It's just like, it was just, you can see two groups of people on this battlefield. But it was like something was going on. So, but before we got to this battlefield, right, there was this other, like, I mean, we were running. It was me and something and a baby and some of these other people. We were running from, I don't know whether it's these people or, I don't know, we were running from something. And like I said, the more I think about it, the more it'll come back to me. You know what I'm saying? It'll just instantly trigger back. But like when I tell you, we were running from these things, like literally we had to do what they do on The Walking Dead, like literally go out and get things for survival. I found a baby. This baby was, I made her mine basically. This baby is not mine, like genetically. But me and this other person that I was with, it was a small group of us. We ended up splitting up, but the person that I knew stayed. Of course, we stayed together because we knew each other. And mind you, this was like a woman. A woman. It's a woman that I don't know whether this woman is related to me or, you know what I'm saying, this woman. I do know she's related to me. That's you know, like I said, ancestors can be with you, especially in the spirit realm, or even in dreams and stuff like that. But these other people knew who I was too, so they knew. But I know with them, I wasn't related to them. I wasn't related to them, but we all like kind of knew each other. But like I said, like we literally had to go out and look for supplies and all this type of stuff. Also, we had to run from these people or whatever this, and these people had very dark energy. They were very, like I said, almost kind of similar to the World War II Nazi, that type of energy. Dominant demeanor, that type of just, that negative energy like that. And I do remember, yeah, they were that type of dark energy like that. But they were human, of course, and we had to run. And then I remember, like as we were running and going to different places and stuff like that, we had to, you know, we would find different things. Like we found a blanket for the baby, so we would collect things as we were going, whatever we could carry, basically. Mind you, this vision happened before the riots even took place. Because I didn't think they were going to actually, well, I knew they was going to ride, but not like how they're doing all over. Not like this. No, absolutely not. But mind you, we end up linking back up with these other people that we came with, right? It was a little small group of us. We end up getting these trucks and stuff like that. And I remember driving this one particular truck. And then there were some other trucks and stuff behind us. I don't know whether this was the army that saved us or I don't know. I don't know whether this, like I said, was the army or some type of special task force or something. Somebody, like we all linked up together and they end up coming to get us. And this family member actually had the baby. She ended up keeping the baby. And this truck, when I tell you, because I was driving one of these, driving in one of the trucks that we were in. And then the other people that came with us, some of them were driving the other trucks. And then there was these other people with us. Like I said, these trucks didn't belong to us, but we were the ones driving it, basically. And then I'm driving, and then we were getting ready to pass this four-way street, right? This truck, I mean, this lady was driving this truck. When I tell you, came falling down the street. She almost hit me, so I had to stop this truck. And this is a big truck I'm driving and what she's driving. Her truck was like a little bit bigger, though, than mine. So she was like screaming. Actually, it was weird. She was driving. I could hear her. Telepathically hear her screaming as she's driving this truck down the street. That's one reason I knew she was actually coming. So I stopped the car before she can really run into me, right? And I remember her getting out the car. And she was like, she was just screaming and she was like trying to get away from something. Mind you, this is before the battle. This battle was up this road, this road she came down from. I told her, you don't want to drive or you don't want to go? I'll go. So she gets out, because she was like, when I tell you, scared for her life. She was a black lady. I've seen her before, though. I've seen her before. I don't know how I know this lady. I don't know whether I just seen her in the spirit realm, through dreams. I know she can't be related to me. She's not related to me because I don't get that vibe from her. But I've seen her before. I've met her before. I'm familiar with her energy. For me to pick up on her telepathically, yes. Somehow she's been in my aura before. She drove this truck, but baby, she was like scared. I don't wanna go. I don't wanna go. I don't wanna do it. I said, you don't wanna do it, so I said I'll do it. I hopped in the truck and I backed it up, and I remember turning. So everybody else, the lady with the baby and all that kind of stuff, the truck with the baby and some of the other little cars and whoever was behind us, they ended up going up the street that where we were going. They were going ahead. I ended up turning down this road to the right. So once this lady, I don't know whether she was meant to do something. She was meant to do something dealing with mind you, I didn't know it was a war going on, even though we knew it was the apocalypse or whatever, because the streets and buildings were tore the fuck up. When I say destroyed, it looked like somebody dropped bombs on this place. It looked like the old world Russia, all that kind of stuff. The World War II back over in Berlin and all that kind of stuff, like that type of stuff. It looked horrible. It's trash everywhere. There's stuff everywhere. Building, broken glass. It's literally post-apocalyptic type of stuff, right? And then what ended up happening is, like, she was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do, like, she was like scared for her life. When I tell you, I've never seen somebody so scared. And I just instantly just hopped out. I said, oh, you don't want to do it? I'll do it. I'll do it. And I remember she got out that truck so fast. She was just in shock and shook and scared. And I remember I hopped in the truck. And I ended up turning right. She ended up going with the other group. They went ahead to like a safety, like a safe net land or whatever, like a safety area. So I ended up going to the right. Even like I knew, I didn't know what was down that road, but I just knew, I knew. But the way she looked like she saw something that she had never seen before. It scared her for her life. She was so scared for her life. She was trembling. She was shaking. She saw something that I knew spiritually what was up this road. I said, I'll do it. I'll go. Somebody had to go. I don't know why she was the one that was supposed to have done it. And I don't know whether she got scared or I don't know what. I need God to kind of clarify that part, right? But me personally, I kind of already knew spiritually. I said, oh, I know what this is. This is what I've been trying to get ready for. Let me go this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I remember hopping in the truck and driving. So I remember turning right because I had to back the truck up a little bit and turn right to go down this road. She ended up going with the other group ahead to like a safety zone. And I am going to the right. And when I went to the right, I remember driving this truck up this road. And then I remember just jumping to the next vision, this big ass battlefield in this city. I don't know what this city is. I've seen this city before because I've had a vision of this beast coming out this fucking ground. Me and the other chosen people that's supposed to fight this fight, like, it's not many of us left. I do know that part. It's not many of us left. I don't know whether this is because they're no longer here or they're no longer of the light side. There's quite a few of us. But not as many as it was once before, because even then it wasn't a whole bunch of us. But now it really isn't a whole lot of us. Like I said, there's a big ass massive group of people on the right. We rode to the left. Like I said, I don't know what's getting ready to break off. But I remember these people were under some type of hypnosis programming. They looked alike. They dressed alike almost. Their eyes were like going like under like a I don't know what you would call that. Like their eyes were just a certain way. They all looked alike. Same facial expression, everything. That's how like I said, it was under some type of programming or something. Some hypnosis spell. I don't know what it was. Everybody to the left did not look like that. And their faces were almost hidden to me. Almost. I can see the silhouette of them and stuff like that. And I just remember us going to this battlefield. Now, these people were on the program and they didn't move. it's like they were waiting for a command or something like that. Something. They were waiting for a command. They were waiting for like orders or something. It was like literally a program. They were under a program. Their body was like a robot. Body like a robot in human form, like a cyborg almost. And it's just like they were just they didn't move. They didn't, you know what I'm saying? It's like they were waiting to be told to do something. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, these visions and dreams and stuff, that if you're having them, write them down. For the most part, I can remember the core details. I don't know what's the name of the city we was in. I don't know. I just know it was apocalyptic. I mean, they tore these streets up to pieces. They tore them up. They tore it up. These and it just all this stuff. Like you had to go search for supplies. Mind you, I found a baby. There was a baby with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we were just finding people. And it just happened. We were sticking together. We were sticking together. And then it was just like, then that was the beautiful part of it. We were sticking together. I like that. I like that part. And you're not going to see this until something like an apocalypse has to literally break out for you to see these different races of people stick together like they did. Like this. You know what I'm saying? Like there was like literally a Walking Dead situation, like when it was like Rick's group versus the Saviors, that type of thing. But like I said, it was something else. There was something else going on that happened before I got to this battlefield that had to scare. She saw something. I don't know this part. I don't know what she saw. Like I said, I had the vision of the golden beast coming out of the ground. I've had the different visions of different things over the last couple of years. Like I said, the summer solstice is normally the battle season, especially this year. Because we're going right back into the kind of similar retrograde cycle of 2018. Back-to-back retrogrades, and that's a battle season for a lot of people. 2020 was always going to be the battle season, the start of a new era. And when I tell you, just get yourselves ready, get your supplies, now that I think about it, I remember Y2K, people were buying all this stuff up for Y2K when I was a little girl. Well, a kid, I'll say a kid, not a little girl. When I was a kid, it's similar now. Y2K, I think they just got it 20 years early. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to really get ready for 2020, this particular era. So yeah, I do encourage you to get your supplies. I do encourage you, don't panic, but just prepare. Don't panic, just prepare yourself. Prepare, have an exit plan, have a different strategy plan, and different stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Have your supplies, have your water, have your, especially medication. What's her name? She's a tarot reader. I can't call her name. It starts with an A. She has like this she cut her hair. Really cute. I think she's a model or something like that. If she's not, she needs to be a model. She cut her hair. She has short hair now. Really pretty short hair. She's really slim. And I think she's kind of tall on the taller end. She talked about this in one of her readings I got to catch. Ashwin? Dang, I can't call her name right. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering it. But like she spoke about it. Get your stuff prepared, like especially with the pandemic. That should have started preparing people who aren't thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're literally in the book of Revelation. So yes, start preparing yourself. Yes. Don't live in fear because we know this type of stuff is coming. Mind you, I did Cards and Coffee on the 27th, the night of the 27th, May 27th. I have the audio and everything still on my flash drive. And and then I knew they were going to ride. Like I said, I'm thankful for my gift father. I'm so thankful for it. This is the same city I had the vision in. This is the same city. I don't know what city this is. That beast is like, I don't know like I said, that beast in the last vision I had back in 2018, that thing came out the ground in the same city. Apocalyptic city. You know what I'm saying? So, like, this is the same city. I didn't see the beast, but whatever this woman saw scared the actual, I mean, she almost died crashing this car. She almost crashed it into me. You know what I'm saying? Like this truck rather. And she says, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's whatever she saw scared her. I said, I'll do it. I kind of already knew. I knew spiritually without going to this battlefield. It wasn't until I got to this battlefield that I knew. I said, okay, this is where the beast is going to come out at. This is where the beast is going to come out. I don't know whether this is New York City. I don't know whether this is somewhere overseas, London. Like I said, Berlin. Like, I don't know where this is going to be at. It's like one of those major cities. I do know it's a major city. It's a major city. I just don't know whether, like I said, it looks like America. It can be New York City. It could be San Francisco. It can be any major city. It could be somewhere else in California. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it reminds me of New York City. In New York City, like I said, Berlin, London, these different main cities. Because by the way, the structure of the buildings looked, even though they were torn to pieces. They were torn to pieces. You know what I'm saying? So I am going to do Cars and Coffee. I'm going to try to do it. I was going to do it today, but unfortunately, honey, my sinuses, it was kicking my butt. I did some cleaning, some deep cleaning. And honey, like I said, I can't really use a whole lot of chemicals, but when it's time to use some Clorox and bleach, you got to use that Clorox, that Clorox bleach and stuff. And I think that I sprayed a little bit too much, and it aggravated my senses. So, honey, And then I did some spiritual work, of course. I call it the fairy dust at this point. Using the pink Himalayan salt. I like it, but it's like pixie dust almost. It gives me the sniffles, and on top of the chemical smell still in the house and different stuff like that. So my senses, like I said, especially having these dreams the way I've been having them, have really, like I said, my senses get heightened naturally. Like I said, divine does whatever they want to do to this body of mine. But normally when I have a dream that in depth, my senses go into overload, and I do have to relax myself just a little bit. But yeah, that dream, so prepare yourself. Like I said, with them violating, rioting and stuff like that, they have just now given a reason for martial law. They like I said, I feel like a lot of this stuff was planned. I really do. Of course, there's always going, with any protest, especially with something like this massive. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be some type of underlying plan. That's just how people are. That's, some people are like, you know what, forget this, I'm finna get mine. Of course, there was rioting last time, or something, right? Like, no, the last time we didn't have the riots last time. I think they was just really some of the protests went left just a little bit. But this right here, this was planned. A lot of this was planned. You can't tell me that some of this, even though it started out for good, but somebody else had another agenda with this. They knew that these people were going to protest, and they knew, and this other, like I said, this B group, this other side knew that they were going to riot. They were going to use this to start some shit. These people have been in quarantine. They're angry. They're mad. They're pissed off. They've lost their jobs. They feel like they ain't got nothing to lose. They like, fuck the world, XYZ. I mean, we're literally in the book of Revelation, so we knew all this was coming. We knew all this was coming. All the light workers and stuff like that, people who are gifted and people who are religious, spiritual, we knew this was coming because you can feel it over the last couple of years energetically. We knew this is coming. There was a B side to this agenda. The protests were supposed to be peaceful. They're going to flip this shit to start some type of race war or some type of war or something. There's always going to be a war anyway. There's a war coming anyway. It's like we're going to have a war on top of a war on top of a biblical war, and it's going to be this ultimate world war. Mind you, we still got to go to war with China. These people still want to go to war with China. So not only are we going to go to war with whatever foreign country, the foreign countries are still pissed at each other. Okay? With the COVID-19, we got that. So that's one war that possibly could happen. on top of the war on our own land that we should have dealt with back in the 50s and 60s, 70s. We should have been dealt with that. We wouldn't have the race war right now. Like I said, this is orchestrated. This is orchestrated. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is orchestrated. There's a B-side. And I've been trying to tap into it. Normally, I'm really, really angry with, when someone dies. Like, I'm still angry that the black man died, because I'm just fucking pissed off. I'm tired of black men, women, and children, and just people. I'm tired of people dying, period. Especially, like, men, women, just any children go missing and dying and all this type of stuff. And nobody does. They don't do nothing. You know, so I've been tired of that. But also, I'm just really tired of nothing being done. See, now something's going to be done. It took all this rioting. Like I said, we knew the riots were going to come, but not like this. This was too planned out and too organized. Nobody's paying attention to it. And so for the life of me, it's like, there's more to this. Normally it's a certain energy I feel, and it's normally I can really get really angry, or I'm really, like, I was very sad last night, especially watching the news reports and stuff like that. And I'll get, like I said, I'll get into more about the opinions about that particular part of the riots and stuff like that later on, just to break it down, to some facts, some stuff that I saw. But, like, there is a B side. There's a B agenda. There is a B agenda to all of this. It was supposed to have been peaceful. For the most part, it was peaceful. But somebody, I don't know whether it's another internal group or something, I don't know. Like I said, I'm picking up on that type of energy. I don't know whether, like I said, premeditated plan, I don't know what this is. They are going to flip that shit. And guess who they're going to shoot first? Black people, right? They don't care now. Whoever's a protester, basically. But they're gonna flip it, like these rioting and stuff like that. I'm saying, of course, they're gonna show the videos of the black people looting. Looting is wrong. Period. I don't care what race you are, what race, what age, what denomination, whatever. Just don't steal. Just don't do it. I just think that's messed up, especially to burn down your own community and neighborhoods and stuff, businesses in your city and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna take down a corporation, do it a certain way. Like I said, like, I try not to judge people, but, like, just looking at just all of this, we're repeating history. What was the Watts riots out in California, different riots and stuff that they had over the last couple of decades. Look at the riots of the last, like, what was it, 20, 30, 40, 50 years? What was the result for those riots? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the results? After you riot, you got to clean it up and rebuild, right? There's no actual, other than making an actual statement. Like I said, I like protest.